Life is full of moments when we're forced to face our fears, to take a leap into the unknown. But for some people, that's literally an everyday occurrence. A few months back, Seth Doane met some daredevils who really know how to make a splash.
To the thrill of crowds, they plunge up to 9 stories in less than 3 seconds, reaching 65 miles per hour. The video needs to be slowed to appreciate the flips and turns. And with keen attention to the performance nature of this, the divers even practice jumping from apartment balconies.
This is crazy what you guys do.
Yeah, for sure.
25-year-old Molly Carlson is among these professional divers or daredevils.
It's the biggest mental game I've ever played in my life.
Who come every year to compete in Italy's coastal town of Polignano, Mare. We met them last July in this place where limestone cliffs have been tempting amateur divers for generations.
Welcome to southern Italy and the third stop of the 2000.
And where each summer Red Bull takes this quaint pastime up a notch, way up. 68 feet for women and 90 feet for men. Divers have to land feet first to absorb impact.
The more flips you do, like you're really feeling the G-forces, and then when you hit the water, you typically go 4 or 5 meters deep.
It's a picturesque stop on an international circuit to crown the world's best cliff diver. Jumping from a bridge in Bosnia or a platform in front of the Eiffel Tower. Molly Carlson, who's Canadian, was among 10 women facing off in Puglia. On the men's side, her boyfriend Aidan Heslop from the United Kingdom was one of 12 in this 2-day competition.
So we're going up how high?
To the top.
To the top.
On practice day, he took us up, past the women's platform, 3 stories higher to the men's.
Not a big fan of heights.
They suggested wearing a harness, and we were happy to oblige.
We just focus on our dive and stay chill up here. This is like second nature for us now, you know?
That's crazy. It is not second nature for me. My legs are actually wobbling. But thanks for bringing me up here.
Of course.
Want to go down?
Heslop nailed his practice dives, but was struggling on day 1 of the competition, as was Molly Carlson.
I've had a lot of anxiety going into this competition. I don't know why.
But she's used to pressure. While cliff diving itself is not yet an Olympic sport, for years Molly Carlson's only goal was to make it to the Olympics on the Canadian diving team.
As soon as I didn't make that Olympic team, it was like everything came to light. I was like, oh my gosh, I've been suffering for a year and no one knows about it.
Under crushing stress, at the time she developed an eating disorder.
I was 16 years old, I was taller than everyone else in my field. The smaller you are, the easier you can flip and the faster you are. So I thought, okay, if I get smaller in a skinnier way, maybe I can achieve the same dives that they're doing.
By not eating.
By not eating, exactly.
She just missed qualifying, but says that devastating result ended up being a turning point.
I told my family, and as soon as I opened up about it, it was like, I want to get the help.
When she occasionally still suffers, she's cheered on by her roughly 4 million TikTok followers, where she has a hashtag #BraveGang, encouraging others to share their brave stories.
Beautiful. And 3.
Today she trains at home in Montreal, where she couples ballet, working balance, alignment, and rhythm.
All right, only high divers can come up here.
With time on the very high platform.
I walked super fast in this part. The last ladder before 20 meters. Whew.
She took our camera up to show us her perspective.
This is 10-meter platform. That is the Olympic height, and we are double that. Isn't that wild? Full tour, the ladder you just came up, and the 20-meter platform.
This is one of just 3 permanent platforms of this height anywhere in the world. One is in China, The other is in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where we met Ellie Smart, who at 28 is one of the most senior divers.
Get it going faster.
And is also a coach.
To watch someone else overcome their fears and do things they never thought they'd be able to do, like that gives me so much joy, and sometimes more than doing it myself. We'll just do some front jumps, get used to feeling the waves. And
back in Italy, we watched Smart training one of her young divers.
You don't step on that platform unless you are 99.9% sure you can do what you're about to do.
There is danger. People get hurt.
Yeah. I really look at football and some of those other sports that are really high contact sports. They have a lot of risks as well.
It's like going through a car crash 1,000 times, you know?
It sounds awful.
It definitely
It really
is.
sounds like a terrible thing.
But absolutely worth it every single time.
But why? How?
In the moment, you feel nothing but pure bliss, and that's the scary part. Your natural instincts are like, don't jump, this is crazy. But in the air, it's like, finally, this moment of silence. I have anxiety, I live with it every single day, but the second I jump off that platform, my mind is so calm.
It's a sort of odd tranquility while being cheered on and judged. But on the final day of this competition, Carlson pulled ahead, placing second. Her boyfriend, Aidan Heslop, landed first.
Giving it all he's got.
It's exciting, and I think we love every second of it. Being there for the lows as well as the highs makes the highs even more special, so I'm really proud of you.
For those who find climbing to these heights, never mind jumping from them, an unimaginable challenge, well, it might surprise you sometimes Ellie Smart does too.
It's one of those things you walk up there and still now, 7 years in, I'm like, am I gonna be okay?
But you still do it?
But I still do it because the feeling that you get when you hit the water, it's like the most empowering feeling I could ever have. I just did this thing that I genuinely thought I couldn't do, and because of that, I know that I can unlock even more of, my own human potential.